Welcome back to Divinity Original Sins 2, Honor Mode Plus run, twice the amount of enemies and 1/4 of the XP.
Dressed in the royal colors of the House of Law. She nods at a sudden intense.
If you truly know him, I am Sada.
3 words. She looks you over in silence.
I am Sada.
3 words that must suffice. A sudden intense.
If you truly know him, you will be so kind as to bring the Red Prince to me.
Yep, already figured.
You spy a lizard lady dressed in the royal.
I am.
Nope, there's nothing for us here. Well, too bad. There's a nice little trader.
You didn't see it with proper, not unless you can. Happy travels, eh? What a crock.
It's not that we really need something. So might as well be a little bit of a showcase of how to earn money if you already have a lot of money. Oh, never mind. We do not have the finesse to do that. Okay, I'll come back later. It's not necessary to do that right now, because the traders are effectively... They don't have anything that we wouldn't already have. So here is the last of the 4 remains of the 4 heroes that we killed. There we go, another 5,000 XP, and a pretty decent belt, I would say, with finesse and thievery. If you're playing with the Red Prince, there is a lot of potential in here, because simply due to him almost like finishing his personal storyline here. Well, not finishing, but it's an important step towards it. Since we do not have that luxury, we might as well move on. So, next up, we are moving all the way up here to find the Harbinger of Doom, which is probably one of the most difficult fights if you don't know how it's done. If you know how it's done, it is easy, very easy. And I will share with you my tactics. So first, let's introduce our enemy. There we go. That's the Harbinger of Doom, level 15. Half a dozen of undead magisters here. And if you examine this creature further, you will see it has about 4,000 vitality, 2,000 and 1,000 armor. And yeah, it's really almost... there's no point in going onto it with fire and poison. But the rest leaves it quite vulnerable. So, how are we going to do that? Quite easy, my friends, quite easy. Or quite simple, rather. First and foremost, we are going to position our heroes at the correct place. And then we're going to make sure... Oh, wait a second. One important thing. He has certain immunities to decaying, but he has no immunities against any form of crowd control. So without spoiling all too much, what we're going to do is we're just going to chain CC him. His first action will always be to teleport up here. Yeah, not a problem. Second action will be to simply nuke down for 800. So if you would stand down there, it would be pretty devastating. Yep, there we go. Yet another nuke. And yet another nuke. So you can already see he has a lot of magical damage, but since we're out of combat, you can easily counter heal. And even if the incarnate would have died, no one really cares. But that's the only difficult part about this whole combat. Like from now on, it's going to be easy. So, now that the incarnate is buffed, let's start joining them in combat. We can effectively reach him almost from back here. If he gets a little bit closer, you could reach him. Yeah, can't do that, but it's also not necessary. What we're trying to do really is we're trying to get rid of the Magisters, and you can see they are wimps. Like, they do not have any armor whatsoever, so we are going to start with taking their armor off. Sibyl joined the fight, and you see all of them are armorless already. So next important thing, let's buff her up. We're going to pull Syken out of there before he is going to be in any real trouble. But I wanted to show you how to effectively start this. And Syken would, I think, even survive a full onslaught of the Harbinger. Yeah, he has enough life. Good. We are going to join them by creating a totem up here. Oh, no, you know what? I mean, we can still create the totem. Let us maybe start joining them by hasting Syken. And in our position, the Harbinger has nothing on us. We are just in such a superior position up here. So, last but not least, Losa. They are immune against fire. What am I even thinking? Of course it won't work. But Frost is going to work very much. So there we go. Little Frost attack. Bang. 500 each. Okay. One Whirlwind attack. And you can already see where this is going, right? They're not dealing any damage whatsoever. Let's double check. I want to get out of here as well. Okay. Very helpful that I double checked, because we don't want to stand down there. So the Harbinger in the next round, after we killed all of the zombies, and he just watched them die, the Harbinger will start to be incredibly annoyed and will start to chase us. And that's the point, he will come down, and that's the point where we are going to strike. Okay, there we go. Now last but certainly not least, Sibyl, sorry. Okay, that's one down. And the other one just died as well. Which means, looking at ourselves, we would need haste. And watery arrows. And done. So we are going to start with 6 action points next turn. There we go, Harbinger of Doom. He will probably move down there and just pound on the Incarnate Champion. Okay, if he just decides to stay back there, that's fine as well. So you can already see where this is going, right? So the Harbinger himself really can't do all that much. He's just chugging fireballs most of the time. That's pretty much about it. Lowe's even left combat. That is funny. So, since she has increased reach, she could even reach him. Like, I wanted to do that technically whilst not being out of combat, but apparently Lowe's is constantly out of combat and through her increased reach. She continues to stay out of combat for whatever reason, but I mean, the idea of the Harbinger is really quite similar. You can nuke him down even if you're not out of combat. Let's just assume that she's in combat, because elsewise this is getting ridiculous. This guy continues to be frozen. Yeah, whatever. If I could hit him with one of these shots from that distance, probably would be over. Fortunately, I can't. There we go. We did not even need Syken. He would have just like moved up there. Anyways, I mean, you can see that the combat is really not that difficult. If the Harbinger would move over to you, you would teleport him away. If the Harbinger would stay over there, you have superior reach. If the Harbinger does anything else, just continuously crowd control him, because you don't want to receive all of that fire damage. If you're really struggling, chuck a greater fire resistance potion and reduce his fire damage by 75%. Then, yeah, it really shouldn't matter at all. So, we got ourselves a fucking dagger, which we are definitely not going to need. And a lot of underleveled gear, which we also will not need. That was the Harbinger of Doom. Good. With this thing being killed, the whole area here is secure again. You can't go any further. Like, this here is unfortunately territory which you cannot visit anymore. And our next plan is going to be this ranger camp. By the way, there was yet one last chest of the 4 heroes which I've forgotten, which is up here. So let's actually close the video here, and maybe we're going and doing the troll one last time, like at the bridge over here. That might be a thing. Okay, so see you in the next video with the troll.